understand that, look, this is not about Ogun State, it's the two of us. We should have railway lines taking those products from Lagos port here within 24 hours. Sometimes when I was working here, the container, they sit for port for 1 week. Your competitor in Malaysia, he don't import, he don't produce, he ship them back to Nigeria. You still wait for clear. So you need transit lines. The highway coming here, when I was a student at IITA, the highway here was 4 lane. Governor, it will be 6 lane. Each time those trucks wait along that way, is productivity lost. You can't compete with Malaysia. They will buy your cocoa, make chocolate, sell them back to you. And my last story. Indomie. Doyin and others in Lagos Business School taught me this when I was working here back in 2000. They say when Indomie came here, Nigerians say, nobody know they make Nigerian man live ever. Na lie. Indomie came here. They knew that your population was urbanizing. They knew that the youth wanted something different. Then they mint money every day. But the part of the story is the following. I didn't know. My child liked Indomie a lot. My daughter. Guess what? She's going to be married to a Yoruba man very soon.
Thank you, Dr. Yunkala. I told you he was one of us, right? Please give him another round of applause. I think he shared some very, very useful insights with us this afternoon about the importance of productivity, innovation, the pivotal role that power and energy plays, the roles of SMEs, and of course, the importance of women in agriculture. And I know the First Lady has been leading a lot of efforts to support women in agriculture in Ogun State. So she was smiling when you were speaking because you were speaking her language. You've really laid a fantastic foundation, and we value your passion. And we know we're watching this space because greater things will come out of this man. Please give him another round of applause. So we have a distinguished panel, which have been carefully selected. And I'm going to take the questions along the value chain. And when you think about the agricultural value chain, you have to start with research. And IITA has been a pioneer in research for the last 50 years. They've developed phenomenal breeds of different products, great ideas around how to grow and increase yields. But the biggest challenge is how that research trickles down into society. Because here IITA is sitting in Ibadan, and yet we have some of the lowest yields in the world in Nigeria. What is limiting this great work from trickling to the lives of smallholder farmers, and what is limiting adoption?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Governor, First Lady, all protocol observed. Very challenging question, very, very challenging, and it's true. You are absolutely correct. For the past 45 years, research institutes in Nigeria in partnership with IITA have been developing all kinds of wonderful technologies that easily take the current yields that our small farmers have in Nigeria, and I would say on all crops. They easily triple them, quadruple them. In some cases, we can increase yields tenfold. But you're exactly right. Most of our small-scale farmers are not implementing those technologies right now. And there are a lot and a lot of challenges, and I don't want to list all of them. That would be so boring, we would all go to sleep very fast. But the future is bright. And especially when I got here and I read the pamphlet that we are all given, the plan that I have seen here in Ogun State for agriculture is absolutely fantastic. And I want to congratulate Ogun State for that. I think your Ministry of Agriculture must be working very hard. They have a very clear vision. And as we've heard from so many speakers already, execution and implementation is the key. And for small-scale farmers and for farmers all over the world, that is what it is all about. It is knowledge put into practice. And the struggle is that even today, many of our farmers, they have the knowledge, They know exactly what they need to get these high yields. But they're struggling because of other obstacles. Credit would be one. Another one would be access to these inputs that we've already heard about. We need to have fertilizer. We need to have the seeds of the best varieties. Even though the research institutes have developed them, if they're not available, then it's not going to help. So what is being done? Well, first of all, I'm pleased to report that IITA has actually done a big change in the last 2 to 3 years. And that is, we have decided that we have to put a lot more emphasis on our partnerships with those organizations that will be delivering these products to the farmers. So we are partnering very closely with a lot of private industries to help them and to work with them to deliver the technologies to the farmers. And yes, we are working closely with the federal government and some of the state governments here in Nigeria to deliver those technologies. We have a long way to go, and we all need to work together on this. I just want to say that IITA is definitely committed to work here in Ogun State, and we look forward to partnering with you in this exciting time of developing agriculture and increasing the yields of small-scale farmers in Ogun State. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kenton. I'm going to come back to you because clearly I think there's a lot more work that IITA can do to push out the great varieties. I just visited IITA last week and I saw the great work you're doing in cassava. And I know that we have the chair of the Cassava Growers Association here. So you've come up with yields that can be transferred rapidly. What is limiting you from partnering with private sector breeders, for example, to reach millions of farmers with those yields? Just name one thing that's limiting that adoption and that spread.
That's limiting our
ability to scale up the introduction of varieties. Let's use cassava as an example.
In fact, I would say that nothing is limiting us. That is actually going very, very well now because of the very big program the federal government has with cassava. We are multiplying cassava varieties massively, and they're really moving fast.
Okay, all right, great. Now moving to GT. So from research, we move to inputs. And Dr. Yumkela has already told us about the challenges around fertilizer usage in our country, as well as improved seeds. Single digits, when you compare it to Asia, for example, I think some statistics say 6 to 7% of our farmers use improved seed. Maybe 10% of our farmers now use fertilizer. What is Notori doing to ensure that more smallholder farmers have access to these seeds? And how are you partnering with the private sector and the government to scale up your initiatives?
Hello? Yeah. First of all, I want to say it's a pleasure to be here in this important event, and I think we see Ogun State as one of the major drivers today that can help us achieve, should I say, sustainable productivity in the agricultural sector. Notori has a vision, and that is to improve not just the quality of lives, but also to ensure that a green revolution is achieved in Nigeria. One of the most important factors in achieving a green revolution is actually making sure that you have good quality, affordable inputs available. Now, before we started, it was the only way you could have fertilizers in the country was through the government procurement system. We all know that prior to 2006 or 2007, that system really never worked. You know, subsidies was in place, middlemen stripped the subsidies, farmers only received recycled products in the market, very poor quality products in the market. A farmer buys a bag of fertilizers, it's supposed to be a 50-kilogram bag, he weighs it, it's probably about 40. So traders actually stole from farmers. When Notori came into place in Nigeria, our goal was to make sure that we could make fertilizers and also improve seed now accessible, affordable, and available across the entire